BlockAds is a free and open source application for Android devices that blocks ads, trackers, and malware at the system level using a local VPN and DNS-based filtering. The application respects user privacy. It does not collect any user data, and root access is not required to use it. You can download the application using Easy on Droid and F-Droid. The links will be in the video description. You can also download it directly from the GitHub page, where you can also view the source code, since this is an open source project. Additionally, using the GitHub link, you can install the application with Obtainium, which gives users the ability to install Android applications directly from the source. When you launch the application for the first time, you will first receive a notice stating that the application performs filtering, that is, ad blocking using DNS, that the root access is not required for it to function, and that no user behavior data is collected. When you click Next, you will be given the option to choose the level of protection you want: Basic, Standard, and Strict. By default, the Standard option is selected, which is also the recommended option, so we will go with this option as well, since it is optimal for most users. When we click Next again, we are given the option to choose the DNS provider we want to use. It is recommended that you select either Cloudflare or Quad9. After selecting a DNS provider, you will need to grant the application permission to use a VPN, since the application uses a local VPN to filter and block ads by DNS. When we click Next, we will get the option to allow notifications, after which we have the option to disable battery optimization. And finally, if you would like to help improve the application, you can allow anonymous usage data to be sent by clicking the Yes, Help Improve BlockAds button, or Decline by clicking No Thanks. When we click Next, we will receive the message, You are now protected. Click the Get Started button and then activate the application itself by clicking the Power button. Now that we have successfully installed and activated the application, we will go through all of the settings options. When we click the Filter button in the bottom menu, we will see all the ad blocking options that you can enable, such as blocking ads on social media, blocking ads on adult websites, blocking malware, phishing attacks, and so on. The application also gives you the ability to add your own custom filters and rules according to your specific wishes and needs. It is recommended that you enable all the filters that the application offers by default, and if you wish, you can also define your own to block content in accordance with your preferences and needs. When we click the Firewall button, we will get a list of all installed applications, which will be divided into two groups: User Apps and System Apps. For any of these applications, you can block internet access with a single click on the slider next to the application's name. When you block a specific application, a settings icon will also appear next to the slider. When you click on this icon, you will get the option to perform additional settings related to the blocking of internet access, meaning you will be able to specify whether you want to block only Wi-Fi, only mobile data, or both options. You will also have the option to set a time period during which you want to block internet access for that application. You can do this by clicking the Schedule toggle and then define the time period during which you want to disable internet access for that application. This option is very useful, for example, if you want to prevent your child from using certain applications during a specific time period, or if you want to limit your own access to social media during a certain period in order to focus on work or something similar. All applications for which you have disabled internet access, that is, all applications for which Firewall has been activated, can be viewed by clicking the Enable button. All applications that have internet access, that is, those for which Firewall is not active, can be viewed by clicking the Disabled button. When we click the Domain Rules button, we will have the option to create a list of allowed and blocked domains. For example, if you want to block access to YouTube, click the Blocklist button, then click the plus icon on the top right corner, enter the web address of the site you want to block, and then click the Add button. After you add this rule, access to that website will not be possible on that device for as long as this rule exists. If you change your mind, you can delete the rule by clicking the trash can icon. Also, if the applications filter or firewall rules are blocking access to a website that you want to use, you can add that site to the allowed list using the same method. That is, click the whitelist, then on the plus icon, enter the web address and click the add button. After adding it to the allowed list, that site will be excluded from the rules and you will be able to access it without any restrictions. When we click on Settings, we will have the option to configure the application itself. The Auto Reconnect option, which is active by default, enables automatic reconnection in case the internet connection is interrupted for any reason. Also, when it comes to re-establishing the connection, you can enable network switch delay if you want the application to pause briefly during reconnection. Next, we have SafeSearch. Enabling this option will turn on SafeSearch for web browsers that support this feature. YouTube Restricted Mode. This option enables filtering of YouTube content, meaning that if you activate it, the display of inappropriate adult content as well as inappropriate comments will be disabled. In this section, you can also perform additional DNS server settings, that is, specify the DNS response type, and change the DNS server if you selected one at the beginning but now you want to use a different provider. Additionally, in this section you have a custom DNS option where you can define your own DNS provider if none of the available options suits you. WireGuard import gives you the ability to add a config file for WireGuard, which will be used to establish a VPN connection. After downloading the config file from the website of the VPN provider you are using, click the WireGuard import and then on Import Config, and then select the file you previously downloaded. Click the Save and Activate button, after which the VPN connection using WireGuard protocol will be activated. Next, we have the HTTPS filtering option. Although this option is still in the testing phase, it is recommended that you enable it, as it will provide you with a higher level of protection while using the internet. As you can see, when we activate it by clicking the toggle, you will receive instructions on how to download trusted root certificates and implement them, and then select the web browser or web browsers you are using, within which these certificates will be used for security verification and to increase your security on the internet. If you click on the interface option, you will have the ability to customize the appearance of the application to your liking, that is, to choose between a light or dark theme, to select custom colors to be used, as well as the option to change the language used within the application. Whitelisted apps gives you the ability to view all applications that you have excluded from the rules, while App Management gives you the ability to view and perform additional settings for applications whose internet access you have restricted. Next, we have the update-related settings. By default, automatic update is enabled, and it is set to update over a Wi-Fi connection. It is recommended that you do not change these settings so that you receive a latest version of the application as soon as a new version becomes available. Another useful option is export-import, which allows you to save all your settings in a form of a file. This is useful if, for example, you want to switch phones or simply want to apply the same settings to another device. First, go to the export option and save your settings. And then on the other phone on which you want to apply these settings, go to the import option and select the saved file, after which the same settings will be applied on that device as well. You can leave any questions, suggestions or ideas for future video content in the comments. Thanks to everyone who took the time to watch this video. I hope you find it useful or at least informative.